Okay, here we go, you guys. Thank you for clicking on this video. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we have an interesting piece of info that I want to dedicate a whole freaking video to because this has me so hyped, you guys. So you could kind of tell on the channel, and if you guys follow me on any of my other social media pages, that I'm a bit more reserved. Like I like to be on the YouTube grind for you guys, the community I built up, and obviously to make some extra cheddar cheese and stuff like that. But everywhere else, I'm a bit more reserved. I keep to myself. I mostly just post my art. I really only talk to a few people in the community, and I interact with my fan base here and there. But you know, I kind of wanted to step outside my comfort zone a little bit, and I DM'd Evan myself. Yes, I did. And I asked him, this was actually a few weeks ago at the time of this recording, almost a month ago. This was like October 9th. I asked Evan, hi Evan, love how you guys have been picking characters from other eras the last few years, even in Studio Series. For the 20th anniversary of Animated in 2027/2028, can we see more cartoon accurate figures in Studio Series? And Evan responded a few weeks later, and he said, hello, it's a possibility, something we've been discussing for sure. Now, you might just glance over this and be like, oh yeah, he's saying it's on the table. But the last sentence, he says, something we've been discussing for sure. Now, we could break this down, and y'all know me, I'm gonna do this right now in this video. So, they have been talking about doing more anniversary stuff for Animated internally at Hasbro and Takara. That is what he's saying. Something we've been discussing for sure. Man, I wish I could be privy to those talks. You know, Lugnut did win that fan vote. I think that it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So we've been waiting on him to get his figure from that fan vote. Hopefully they do him as a leader class or command. I would really love to see him as a commander class, you know, getting all those ratchet joints in there, his accessories, and just making him big and bulky. You know, something that the original Voyager class obviously didn't do unless if you pair it up with certain deluxe class figures and activators, but that's a whole nother topic for another video. You know, there's so many options, and I'm not even talking about the G1ified stuff. I specifically asked him about cartoon accurate versions of these characters within Studio Series, because obviously that's what that toy line is more so for, and then regular mainline generations is for more streamlined and different interpretations of certain characters. So that is very crazy that he just came out and said that we've been discussing it for sure. Like, I would love to see a capsule line for the 20th anniversary of one of my favorite Transformers cartoons. I've said this before, but I'd say, like, generally my rule of thumb and my big three for like a great Transformers show is Beast Wars, Animated, and I'd say Transformers Prime as well. Like, those are my main three. I may be forgetting RAD 2001 is like really great too. It's like super fun. It is a little kiddie, but it's kiddie in a way that, you know, it's like in classic anime style, so it's not like overly, you know, American-made 5-year-old sort of cartoon. It's more so like silly in an anime way, if that makes sense. So I'd put RAD 2001 up there. Like, Animated is in my top 3 or top 4 Transformers cartoons of all time. I absolutely love it. I grew up on it, watching it on Cartoon Network after school. It was freaking fantastic. Best times ever. So to hear Evan say that it's something they've been discussing over at Hasbro for a 20th anniversary sort of celebration for Animated, getting cartoon accurate figures in Studio Series of these guys, that absolutely makes my mind run wild. I am super pumped with this answer here, because I was expecting him to say, you know, the typical, oh, it's on the table, but we haven't talked about it yet, or we have no plans for that. I was expecting that sort of answer, and I would have been pretty down about that. Y'all know me on this channel, but, you know, this answer is something that I would frankly be dreaming of for him to say here in regards to a 20th anniversary animated animated sort of celebration. And it's even crazy to say in the next couple years we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of this cartoon. I could just remember like it was freaking yesterday this show was coming out on Cartoon Network weekly, and, you know, going online. This was kind of after the fact. This was around like 2010, 2011, where people started to shift their opinions on animated, and it really turned into like a cult classic in the fandom. But I still saw people saying, oh, the animation is whack, not my Transformers, G1 forever, you know, typical stuff like that. And, you know, it's just crazy to see the fandom take such a turn into loving animated, and now seeing, you know, somebody that works at Hasbro like Evan saying to me that they're discussing doing animated figures for Studio Series in its 20th anniversary. Now, this isn't totally something new. They have been discussing bringing the likes of Prime, Animated, and even freaking Trans-Tech they've mentioned. That was one of the things that I was really pissed about them firing John Warden last year, because I could be wrong on this, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure that John Warden mentioned doing Trans-Tech and Studio Series in an interview that I covered last year. I could be wrong on that. It's been over a year, but that's been mentioned as well. So, you know, they've been talking about doing the likes of Animated and stuff like that in Studio Series for a couple years now. I think as far back as maybe 2022. That I've been covering here on the channel. Man, that was over 3 years ago. So yeah, this isn't totally new, but it's just surprising to hear that they're talking about it within like the 20th anniversary that I asked here. Now, I would really like to see the following characters get made, all right? I want to see a Cybertronian Leader Class Ultra Magnus. I know we didn't see it for you know, a bit in the cartoon. It was like, you know, a few scenes here and there. But that would be dope. Give him all of his weapon features like the original Leader Class figure, which, by the way, that's still a fantastic figure 16 years later. I would like to see a Voyager or Leader Class Striker. I just got in the Mastermind Creations Striker to kind of fill that void of not having a Striker in my collection. But Hasbro, please, for the love of God, for the love of Primus, do a Leader Class Striker in My Life Is Yours. I would like to see a Voyager Class Cyclonus. Do the canceled Marauder Megatron, that triple changer. Color him in the Beast Machine's colors like he was rumored to be. You know, that would be a crazy reference to the animated figure and his Beast Machine's form and just everything involved. Like, imagine getting a Leader Class Marauder Megatron. As a triple changer, he's got his Beast Machine's colors. He's got the Beast Machine's head sculpt like the original figure and cartoon design did before it was canceled. That would be amazing. Give me a deluxe class animated hotshot. If you guys remember back in the day, there was a prototype of animated hotshot made, but it obviously never came out. So that, you know, Hotshot is the mascot of my channel, and I would just love to see the animated version of him get made. That would be fan-freaking-tastic. Obviously, I mentioned, please give me a Commander Class Lugnut. There's so much. Who else would I want from animated? I would like to see some of the more like glyph and tap out sort of repaints of Bumblebee, but for them to make that a bit more accurate and possible, so we could get Cliff Jumper and glyph and tap out and stuff like that, they would have to do the Cybertronian version of that body frame on Cybertron in animated. So that would mean we would have to get a Cybertronian Bumblebee, and then they would repaint it / retool it into Cliff Jumper, Glyph, and Tap Out, and whoever else, Bumper. So I really want to see a Cybertronian version of Bumblebee. I can't remember, did we ever see Prowl transform in his Cybertronian form? I know we saw him at the beginning of the show with it, but I can't remember if he transformed. Getting a Yokitron would be freaking awesome. Can you guys imagine getting a deluxe class Yokitron? I know I certainly can. I've been imagining it for the last 16 years. Bring that on too. You know, there's just so many possibilities for 20th anniversary subline for Transformers Animated. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on at some point down the line, picking out if Hasbro were to do a subline for the 20th anniversary of Animated, picking my own personal characters that I would like to see them do at Deluxe, Voyager, Leader Class, Commander, and Titan Class. Hell, oh man, give me a Titan Class Omega Supreme, and for Generation Selects, or as like just an internet exclusive, or what do they call it? A fan channel exclusive. Give me a repaint / retool of Omega Supreme into Lugnut Supreme. I think it was called Lugnut Supreme, right? Give me that version of Lugnut. I mean, Jesus, guys, there is so many possibilities. Primus knows how long I've been waiting for something like this, and to see Evan say that they're discussing doing it currently, man, guys, this is huge news. Like, this is really freaking big, and I'm glad that I was able to get this answer and cover this on the channel for you guys. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. But yeah, guys, let me know down below, how do y'all feel about Hasbro potentially doing Studio Series figures in Animated, and potentially doing a 20th anniversary sort of celebration in a couple years for this cartoon? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye.